Hello and welcome to KSB TV. We are still on Kryptosparbuch, but if you have not subscribed to KSB TV, this is your chance to do so. Today with our special guest, CryptoCoffee. Coffee, how's it going?
Great, man. Great to be here. Great to be alive in Hexico. Bear market. So what else can you say? Just dollar cost average. I don't know. It's boring right now, guys. It's boring.
It's not boring at all. We have a lot of things to discuss. Patrick, I want to say hello to you too, of course. How's it going?
Yeah, so going very well here. Perfect, actually. I hope everybody is doing well out there as well. And if not, then we have like the best guest today to discuss how to go in the bear market and what this bear market can still bring and what are the new things to look of and so on. So thanks for coming on today, Crypto Coffee. And I'm sure,
Thanks
like
for
as
having me.
always, we will have a nice crypto talk.
Exactly. The bear market is going on, but there are a lot of new things coming. And CryptoCoffee, you already made a couple of videos about that. But before we dive into our crypto topic, let's share our screen. And I want to show you what I have been working on in the last couple of weeks. So first here you see a video that we brought out like 2 weeks ago. So let's watch that and then we jump into this.
The genius of HEX is that it is a genuine money printing machine. Let's talk about how to mint your own money. Bitcoin did a 6 million times return, but how many people were able to capture even a fraction of that 6 million X? Let me show you. The problem with speculation in any market, but especially crypto, is that everyone has a price. The higher prices go, the more likely they are to sell their assets. Nobody has outperformed the 6 million X of Bitcoin by trading. Traders always lose. People who sold HEX on a 10X or even a 100X are kicking themselves in the head as HEX's price has increased over thousands of times already. Why are there so many rich HEX owners? The maximum return in HEX is only available to people who stake their coins, which locks up billions of dollars that are not available to buy or sell on the market. HEX stops people from getting in their own way of riches. Selling HEX is like selling a money printing machine. The question is, why would anyone sell a money printer for money if they could just print more? HEX users capture massive returns because they do not sell their money printing machines. Because after all, you need to hold HEX in order to stake HEX. And unlike holding other cryptocurrencies, if your HEX stake is locked up, there's never a panic to sell. HEX saves people from themselves by monetizing the deferral of gratification. There is no better feeling in the crypto market than locking in T-shares and letting the money printer get to work.
Well, one reason why I showed this video, or there's still the intro. One reason why I showed this video is because, well, we are in a bear market. We want to gain more in the future, right? And if you hold Bitcoin, then you cannot get more Bitcoin besides trading. In HEX, though, we have trustless interest, like you already know. And I just love this short video on how it explains why HEX is better than Bitcoin. But I also have another video here that I wanted to show. We will do that in a second. CryptoCoffee, how did you like this one? Why do you think HEX is better than Bitcoin, in your opinion?
Yeah, good stuff, man. That's whoever you paid to do that did a good job. Let's see. I mean, HEX is clearly, obviously better than Bitcoin. I mean, it's just better design, right? Better game theory, better founder community website. It's Bitcoin with an incentive to hold. So we're just doing store of value better. We know that store of value works. It's the only application that really is proven to work. Bitcoin paved the way, but Bitcoin's not the best of the best. I mean, that's like saying that, the DVD player was the peak of all technology. And there can never be anything better, right? So people get stuck in these old archaic ways of thinking and they start worshiping Bitcoin. And I think the thing too is that there's value tied to it. So it becomes an emotional thing, right? So people spent their whole life building businesses around Bitcoin and investing their personality and everything into Bitcoin. They don't want to admit when something better comes along, but it's staring you right in the face right now. It's HEX. It's right here. It's been working 100% uptime, 2.5 years, almost 3. And it's never been hacked, and it's modular, it's isolated. It's been making trustless interests. It's just staking with severe consequences, right? Which nobody has really had the balls to do yet in crypto. So definitely look into it if you're new here, if you haven't looked into Hex already. But everybody watching probably knows. But guys, what else can I say? You know, it's the best store of value since Bitcoin.
I think everybody should go to this video on our YouTube or on Twitter. Richard Hart even liked it as well. And now we have a couple of those videos coming. So let's jump into the next one that I have prepared. That's what I was working on today. And I'm really proud. I think this was my best one so far. So let's do that.
Well, Hey, I'm Michaela, and we're going to break down what is HEX. HEX is the highest appreciating asset of the decade, but hardly anyone knows about it. It's the first certificate of deposit on the blockchain. As with owning physical gold, HEX stakers are in control of their asset. HEX can be bought and sold trustlessly on an exchange that is always open and can never be shut down. HEX is the only cryptocurrency to date that has taken one of top 3 most successful products of the banking industry and apply it to blockchain technology. HEX is also the first cryptocurrency that is a complete product and not a promise. Its fundamental mechanics are to provide a consensus store of value while also providing time value in the form of accrued interest. HEX differs from virtually all other cryptocurrencies because it specifically mirrors one of the most successful financial products of the legacy finance system, boasting a world market cap in the trillions of dollars. HEX was not designed to recreate the wheel. It was designed to bring transparency and accountability of a successful financial product in the current banking system and eliminate the need for trust among clients, banking institutions, and monetary policies makers.
All right. So where did it go? Oh, sorry, guys. So this was something that I was working on today. Go to my Instagram, check my stories, and soon this video will also come out on KSB TV. I think these short clips are the perfect clips to share them with everybody because it just looks so beautiful, right? A lady like we have not a lady yet in HEX that is so beautiful and just talks about HEX in these kind of terms. I remember when we were writing those scripts, it was pretty hard for us to find the right words. We were on tour half year and then found the right words to then have Michaela speak those things. And what was she speaking about today? She was speaking about how you earn money with HEX trustlessly. And this is also the topic of today. Since we are in the bear market, we want to earn crypto while holding on to our coins. So CryptoCoffee, you made a video about Hedron and Ecosia, so we will jump into that. But before, let me share my screen because I want to also share a couple of pictures where you showed up on our tour. So let's do that really quick.
Cool. I love the video, by the way. It's we need more professionalism. You guys are doing it right. Plus, she's easy to look at, so that helps.
Easy to look at.
So let's bring up the screen share here. Oh, that's also something that I wanted to show. Watcher Guru is not only one of the biggest news sites on Twitter for crypto, but also they did already 2 articles about HEX and they were really positive in my opinion. So guys, go to Watcher Guru, check it out. Have you read the article as well?
Yeah, I love these guys. I don't know who's behind Watcher.guru, but I think it's like some Indian guys, and they always write pro HEX articles. So it's really nice to see because they actually have some decent ranking as well in the search engines too. 1 million followers, you know, that's no joke.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's good to have other people on our team. You know, we're going to start seeing more and more people coming out of the woodwork in the next year or two, admitting that, you know, they were either wrong or that they liked HEX the whole time. And you'll see.
And actually,
I agree about that because, you know, like how long can you be like on the hater side, you know, and the price appreciation just goes like against you.
It's so tiring. It's so much easier just to join the winning team and instead of spending all your energy hating all day long.
So one more thing that I want to show before we dive into the topic with CryptoCoffee here is the golf tournament that we have. Patrick, maybe you can explain what is going on here. The ladies want to sponsor a hole. What is that all about?
Yeah, so for everybody who does not know, we are throwing the official kickoff event for this year's PulseCon. So PulseCon will take place between the 6th and the 9th of September. And the day before, on the 5th of September, Labor Day in America, we will throw the Pulse Masters, the golf tournament, where we secured the whole golf place, the whole golf court for the entire day. We will play like 2 rounds of golf. All the details about that can be found at ksb.tv/golf. Let's put that in the chat real quick. And lots of Hexicans will be there. I expect like a lot of teams playing. We will have winning prizes of millions of Pulse and Pulse X for the early round, for the late round, and then like you have it here. People are sponsoring holes, and there are like different communities who can come and sponsor a hole. We already have like some confirmed, and one of those communities are, for example, the HEX ladies community, who are also like trying to or who are doing a little fundraising right now in order to have the money to be able to sponsor one of the holes, where they can then have a table there, give informations out, and have music playing there. You know, it's like a nice fun event, and everybody is like invited to come. If you don't play golf, you can just come like with the food and beverage admission, or if you're not in a team of 4 people, you can also sign up individually, and we will help you find your team. And yeah, let's have an awesome day up front of the PulseCon to be able to network and already meet everybody there. So,
Patrick,
CryptoCoffee, are you a golfer?
Well, like I said earlier, I used to be a caddy. I took lessons growing up, and I used to work on a golf course. So I haven't golfed in a long time. You know, having to carry bags that weighed more than I did for rich old people when you're 13 years old, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth regarding golf. But no, I'm kind of excited. You know, now that you guys mention it, it's been a long time since I've been on a golf course, so it'll be nice to be playing.
Should we look about a caddy for you? Who carries like
Yes,
your stuff
I want to be
all
on the
around?
other side of the transaction this time. No, I couldn't do that. But hey, as long as I'm not carrying a bag, if I can get a golf cart, then I'm down.
It is
it will
included.
definitely be fun meeting all the Hexicans and then playing some golf fun as well. But the question for me is, Patrick, the money that we are raising by sponsorship, for example, in general with this tournament, what are we doing with this money?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, of course, we pay for the event location and all the things needed for that. But the main contribution, or everything which is left in the end of the event, will go to pump your crypto bags to everybody out there, because we will do the 1 million Pulse tour. And first of all, we will have to wait until Pulse Chain launches, but you know, there is a lot of planning going into such a tour. So when it comes to event locations, you need that like months upfront. When it comes to meetup locations, you need that not months in front, but a month up front. You're doing good if you have the location, you know. And then you also need to do the advertisements, that people know what you're doing, and get them interested to come and all that stuff. That's why all the money which is raised by the golf tournament will be used for the 1 million Pulse tour or for future Hex events.
And here you see our 5555 tour. We were together with a lot of Hexicans. You just saw also CryptoCoffee here as well. Coffee, do you remember what workshop that was?
Austin, yeah. A lot of people say it looks like I was photoshopped into that photo, but no, that was Austin. That was a great time. I think that was the biggest one we've had.
I said that in the German live stream as well. So you weren't photoshopped. This is not a Photoshop picture, right?
Proof.
Yeah,
I was there.
Yeah, Austin, you came. Yes, of course, for the OG meetup and so on. Yeah, now I remember.
I think weren't there like 200 people? It was a huge turnout.
It was over 120 people. It was our biggest workshop. Yeah.
Wow.
Probably
remember
because
that concert
CryptoCoffee
too.
was there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
a lot of OGs were there. Crypto Heartbeat was also there. Nardo was there, what I remembered, and I guess Tim Benjamin also showed up at Austin.
I see
Yeah,
Hex Farmer right now. I see
yeah,
Victor right now in this picture.
yeah. So there are lots
But
of Hexicans.
the reason why we show that is, of course, the money that we get from the tournament, or the money that we get by selling our tickets for the workshops. All the money is used to make workshops like this. The 5555 tour has shown the community what we are all about, KSB and Kryptosparbuch. And now with the million poster, we want to bring it up a notch and have even bigger events and just more topics to talk about. Hex, Pulse X, those kinds of things. This everything that we want to talk about, and this is what the money will be used.
So
Right,
you can
so
also think about, like, if you want to extend the reach of your Crypto Coffee channel, you can sponsor a hole if you want to, and then you have like your Crypto Coffee flag.
I'll pay you guys. Everybody listening, pay these people. They can't do this shit for free, okay? They need money.
Awesome. Thanks
Pay
a lot,
them.
man. Thanks a lot. And it would also
And-
help us, if you are on live streams or doing a live stream yourself or something like that, to just mention the event, because
Sure.
I'm not sure like how I can identify like golfers in the community just by myself. So I just need like a few people mentioning and telling about that. And
I'll tweet right
then
now.
I'm sure we will find people and teams and golfers and people who will just come, to drink and eat and enjoy the time with other Hexicans and other crypto enthusiasts.
all right, so let's bring up the screen share. I only have 2 more tabs to show, and they are already about our topic here. CryptoCoffee, you posted this here. Let me go. Everyone go do
Yeah.
this. Just open Coinbase app, search for Hex on the trade tab, and leave a review to show them the truth. When you made this picture, how many reviews did we have? Do you remember?
It was less than 83, right? So it says right there 83 reviews. And then by the time we were done, we got up to a 4.8 rating. We have over 200 reviews, maybe 300, and we're ranked higher than Bitcoin. So take that, Bitcoin. Yeah, I think that was
Nice.
awesome.
Awesome.
And look
Cool.
at this. It says right here, Basel A is saying Pulse X is going to hit 10,000x. Well, the Hex community is always doing amazing comments. And then, of course, this already leads up to our crypto conversation, Crypto Coffee. You made a video yesterday, and it is so successful, 5,500 views. People really want to know about Hedron and Ecosa, and this is our topic. So let's dive right into that. What is, in your opinion, the best elevator pitch for Ecosa?
Is
You
it
know, I
called
just found out about
Ecosa
it.
or Icosa?
I was Hedron, same thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I really just heard about this yesterday. So the sales pitch is probably just Hedron staking, basically. I mean, it completes Hedron. Icosa Hedron is the shape, and so that's why they chose the name. It's a little funny to say on its own, but yeah, basically it's just more incentives to hold your Hedron, reduce sell pressure, increase staking, because and also offer people a chance to buy liquidated HSI stakes in the auction market. So just more game theory, more utility, different layers of complexity to make Hex and Hedron and Icosa more sticky for people.
Did you already looked into the auction game?
Well, there's a part of it where basically you can now cash in your HSIs. So if you made a 5555 stake and you tried to sell it as an NFT, no one's buying that right now, right? Let's be honest. Nobody's buying those because it's only been maybe 100 days since Hedron's existed, and nobody wants to buy 100 out of 5555 stake. So you can cash it back in and get Icosa coin in return, and the Hedron is borrowed against for your HSI, and it's defaulted on automatically, sent to the auction market. So you can basically go shopping now on the auction market. It'll be much more of a thriving ecosystem.
But you're saying like defaulted, so it's still like after 90 days, right? So it just sits 90 days there, and then it gets automatically to the auction.
Good point. Yeah, it does take 90 days. So, but yeah, you can basically go
and the
shopping
amount
for cheap
of
stakes.
Icosa, I can get of sacrificing a sacrificing or like of exchanging a HSI stake, when I informed correctly, is like the amount of Hedron which could be borrowed on this stake divided by the current T-share rate, and that's like the amount of ICOSA I get by exchanging my HSI stake, right?
That's correct. Yeah, that's the calculation that will run, and that means that the denominator, right, the T-share rate's going up every day, so ICOSA will hypothetically get more and more scarce over time
Mm-hmm.
because you're doing divided by.
Yeah, I agree on that. And then it's also like Hedron staking and also ICOSA staking. Can you explain those two a little?
Yeah. Hedron staking, you can stake Hedron and earn ICOSA. You can stake ICOSA and earn Hedron and ICOSA.
I can earn ICOSA by staking Hedron because I wrote that differently. I read
Let's
it
check
differently.
the
Stake Hedron for for ICOSA.
Yeah.
Stake Hedron for ICOSA.
Yeah.
But
And
is there
so
a
what's
typo right
interesting-
now? Guys, you see that as stake Hedron for ECSA? Isn't there an O missing?
No, it's like
It's the ticker.
HDRN. It's like the ticker symbol.
I see.
Yeah. So that's fine. Okay, and can you explain, Coffee, like how where those ICOSA coins are coming from for the yield?
Yeah, so as far as I understand it, they're inflating from zero. So there's going to be 0 coins. The only way that ICOSA comes into existence is when people are cashing in their HSI stakes, as far as I know. I'm not an expert, right? But
yes, but it also says that I can earn ICOSA by staking Hedron. So where do those ICOSA come from? Because I only get like some ICOSA share if somebody exchanges a HSI stake, but then this somebody would get those ICOSA also in the future, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a calculation based on the Hedron that is burnt. The burnt Hedron is somehow used to calculate the amount of ICOSA inflation as well to those staking pools. So, I actually don't know the calculation because I haven't seen the smart contract yet, but I'm sure I could dig around in Telegram, figure it out. But yeah, it's just scarce token supply. That seems to be a narrative that people like. Obviously, people like staking. And then they have some cool dynamics. So they have lockup periods that are longer for whales. So if you're a bigger holder, you have to stake for longer. You can only make 1 stake per account.
But you can add and subtract from the stake, right?
Yes, I think you can add to it.
But you subtract only like when you serve the minimum time if you don't want to have any loss.
Yeah, and there's still penalties too, so that's a good quality, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, I appreciate that the Hedron community does more things, and I also think it's a good thing to do, ICOSA, and it should help Hedron, especially like to get some of the Hedron supply into staking, to maybe even remove more Hedron supply, because
the burning.
yeah, because they are burning more, and it should also increase the auctions maybe. So I like that perspective of that. But do you really think it's like a game changer of the price performance of Hedron?
To be honest, I don't think we're going to see Hedron do anything crazy until the next bull market. But it is good, right? It has all the right dynamics. So you're burning supply, you're giving people an incentive to hold. So you're generating demand and reducing supply. I think in the long term, this completes Hedron, right? So there were so many tokens of Hedron, and now there's a reason to burn some of them, which is a good thing.
What do you think about like liquidity providing? For example, let's say Hedron ICOSA pair.
Yeah. Hey, if you probably a good idea. Yeah. If you're a whale or if you want to take the risk of impermanent loss, I guess you have to ask yourself which one's going to outperform Is Hedron going to do better or Icosa, like price
Yeah, but I
performance
mean,
wise?
if you're a whale in Hedron and also think about being a whale in Icosa, then the impermanent loss wouldn't matter for you because you'd like both coins, right?
Yeah, yeah. It'll be cool to see, a token with scarce supply and how that affects the price. I know Pulse Doge kind of did it. They only have 1 million coins or something, but Icosa is starting from no coins at all, and it's purely inflationary, but at a gradual diminishing returns rate.
And
Yeah,
Pavi,
but
you just
yeah. Let's see
you
like
just
how diminishing it really is, yeah, because it's also a little bit about dynamic, isn't it? Because if I say, okay, now it's a good time to exchange my HSI stake, let's say like in 2 years, yeah, then at this point, if it's a big HSI stake, I would get a lot of ICOSA, meaning that on this day there is a lot of inflation. So I'm I'm a little, it's like, okay, in general, the characteristics are like that. But if you come like with market psychology on top of that, then it's still like unpredictable. It's like the same like with the Hedron total supply. Of course, it was like this huge hyperinflation in the beginning, but nobody can tell if everybody is like just sitting quiet now for nearly 2 years and then just can do the same thing as in March again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I haven't sold my Hedron yet, so I could dump on your heads at any time, guys. Be careful. Watch out.
but why would you do that? Now you have tools like Icosa available to do whatever you want to, right?
Yeah, right. I like holding. I mean, I've been holding Hex for years, 15 more years. So whatever. It's not worth it to me to sell Hedron at all-time lows. Why would I do that?
Yeah,
And
sure. I mean, but lots of people did sell their Hedron
Yeah,
because otherwise you
obviously.
don't get to a 79% drop.
Yeah, they'll be kicking themselves later, I think. I mean, if Hedron even takes 2 zeros off of it, that's huge.
one thing
That's
that
huge.
you have
Yeah, that's true.
mentioned that right now, since Hedron is only a couple of weeks old, basically, right? If you want to sell your HSI stake, maybe people will not buy it. But I think Ecosia is actually solving that problem, right? Ecosia is a contract that automatically will buy your HSI contract if you give it to it.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
you
Yeah,
don't
correct?
there's
get
always a buyer.
Hex for it. You don't get USDC for it. You get ICOSA for it.
Mhm.
And then the question remains like how much is one of those ICOSAs worth? And especially like the first ones. How much are the first ones worth? Are they worth so much as like the HSI was worth in like those Hex were worth in US dollar terms? Or like how do you get
Yeah,
to the first price? So it's a little tricky.
yeah. There's no right answer, but it'll be very interesting to watch. What I'm really interested in is the we are all the source address. That's so fun because it's basically you can buy into these NFTs for this private Icosa staking pool, and it's basically a game of last man standing. So um, once these NFTs entitle you to earn staking rewards in Icosa, but once you revoke your stake, once you end that stake, you can never ever get back into that pool. So I think I'm gonna buy one. Do you guys think you're gonna get involved?
And with the NFTs, I
Yeah.
haven't looked into that. Explain me a little more.
Okay. So on the bottom of the website, they talk about it's just this little kind of mini game that Alex put in the smart contract where the source address, that's kind of like the origin address, basically the same thing. Um, but in Icosa, there's a feature called We Are All the Source Address. So we're basically, it sounds like there's a copy of all the Icosa coins from the staking pool also being given to this secondary pool. Just like, the origin address gets a copy of all the bonuses. Well, in this game, the source address gets a copy of all the Icosa staking rewards, but everybody gets a chance to buy into the source address, meaning everybody can buy an NFT that is basically like a piece of the pie to prove that you own a part of the source address. So you're basically entitled to that percentage of Icosa. So if people pool together $1 million in the pool, and I put in $100,000 for my individual NFT, there's no price. You can pay however much you want, but then I would own 1/10 of the pool. And if I ever end my stake, there's no second chances, I can never come back to that pool. Pretty cool, pretty fun.
So what is the game theory behind that? It's just to make the people hold on and not sell, right? That as how I see it.
Yeah, I think it's to reward the founding class of Icosa, the people who believe the most. So the people that were early and that believe, they can express that belief by choosing how much they want to pay for their NFT, and then leaving that NFT and not touching it. And so it's just a game of the source address will eventually become a group of the strongest hands in all of Icosa and Hedron. So pretty cool.
Interesting, yeah, definitely.
So are there other things that you've discovered in your video yesterday, or should we go on to the next topic?
Yeah, there's nothing too crazy other than that. I just recommend read the website, guys. Anybody watching, it takes some time to wrap your head around it because it's a little complicated, but it's very cool.
Yeah, I had this experience in the German stream before.
Yeah.
So the topic of today is we are in a bear market. How do we protect ourselves from the bear market? Of course, you just stake HEX. Now you also have the possibility of HSI staking. Ecosia is coming out soon. And something else that is new to our ecosystem is Team and Base. CryptoCoffee, have you been able to look in Team and Base yet?
Not too much. I want to look at them more. I know Base is a continuous 1-year stake, kind of like Maxi is a 15-year stake, but it's a pooled 1-year stake. And then Team, I forgot what Tanto Nomanai just tweeted, but he tweeted, do you guys know anything about the Team token?
Not too much.
Yeah,
We talked about that on our German stream. Let me finish that up really quick, Patrick.
What?
Let me finish that up really quick. I think there's a little time delay between us. Tenta Nomai just did a live stream about 1 hour ago where he explained everything about Team and Base. If you guys have more questions, then after the stream, go to there. But Patrick, what is your elevator pitch? What did you got out of reading about Team and Base so far?
Yeah, so Coffee is right. When it comes to Base, it's like a perpetually revolving 1-year stake. And when it comes to Team, so Base, you can mint like you minted Maxi with HEX, 1-to-1 ratio. And when it comes to Team is only able to be minted with Maxi coins. And the Team can also be staked afterwards. And there are like 2 things, like how you can earn by holding Team or by staking Team. The first thing is that 50% of the bigger pays better share and the Hedron part of the base stake is rewarded to Team holders. And as Team can only be purchased with Maxi in the first round, in the initial round, all the Maxi you exchange, 20% of those will get burned automatically, making all your remaining Maxi more valuable. 30% of those Maxi you exchange will go in a 3-year, in a 6-year, and in a 9-year stake. And 50% of those exchanged Maxi go in the mystery box. And when it comes to the mystery box, it's only saying there should be no expectations from the mystery box.
I love all the different names for origin address. Everybody's got a different name.
Yes.
But that's cool. I actually learned something new right there. So you stake Team and then you get Maxi rewards, right?
Yeah, I mean, like as you exchange Maxi for Team, part of those Maxi will go in the 3, 6, and 9-year stake. So you don't get them like perpetually, but you get like a payout at least every year, like the share from the base stake, and then every 3 years, or like after 3, after 6, and after 9 years, one of those stakes come out, made with the Maxi. I mean,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love this stuff, man. Like we have some of the smartest fucking people in Hex. Like the whole Maxi ecosystem is incredible, and then the Hedron ecosystem. These are just derivative layers on top of Hex to make it even better, even stickier. So Yeah, I think that's pretty simple to understand, at least from my end. So you stake team, and then you get the rolling 1-year stake base tokens as a reward every year, and then you also get more maxi.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So
I don't know like what happens after the 3 year is over, if they give out the redeemed hex, or if they give out more team, or I'm not sure about that. And then I'm a little critic when it comes like to base and team, because why? First of all, base is only a 1 year stake. How much big hex wallets really have an interest
Not long
in
enough
a
for you.
1 year stake? So that at
Yeah.
first. So which comes out, or as an outcome of this question, is okay, there might not be 150 million hex which are going to be staked. So less than the 10% bigger pays better bonus. Third thing, which is a little critic of mine, is 50% of the bigger and pays better bonus I already lose out on team holders. Yeah, so it's like, assuming it gets 150 million, I only get like a few percent more compared to making my only 1 year stake. And I would definitely outperform this yield by doing a 555 HSI stake and hold that just for a year.
But now you
Fair
said
point.
you will definitely outperform. We do not know that. When we
No,
started
you
pledging
will
our hex for
definitely
Maxi,
outperform. 100% you will outperform, because with the 5555 stake, you make like 25% yearly interest. And I mean, okay, I assume that you sell it with the current value, but after a year, you already have like a T-share rate which is up
yeah,
20%
you're
more.
talking
So
outperforming when it comes to the yield, right? But we do not know what premium the base token or the team token will have, right? So it's a little bit hard to say.
that's my next criticism. I see a lot of people seeing the maxi premium, assuming that base will just do the same, and as they assume that, it won't do the same.
I personally don't even think the maxi premium should be that high right now. I think people are anticipating that it's not going to dump as hard when the pulse chain fork happens. But I was very surprised to see the premium at 75% already.
Yeah, it went to 85. So we are at 85 today. Actually,
Like,
yeah,
why?
it's
It
85.
doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense to me. I mean, I could see,
Actually,
1.1
it
maybe.
makes sense to me. So I can see that. Why? So because first of all, people saw that they missed like a chance there, because at first we had one-on-one minting, and then it was like just 2 or 3 days where some people bought up the maxi price chart. Little liquidity, not much money to be injected, but pushing this ratio up, this value up. And what people did in the second round is like provide liquidity in the more liquidity in the Hex Maxi pair. So as of right now, you have like a cap, so it won't go under 1.6 actually, because if
Wow.
you look at the liquidity, there is more than 50% in Hex in the Hex Maxi pool, meaning that there is some Hex in the lower ranges just waiting to get some Maxi sellers, for example. And the
Oh, I see.
second reason why it's so high is some people are looking at this chart from a dollar price perspective, and they see, okay, we started at 12, 13 cents, or between 12 and 14 cents, and we went down to 5 cents, and now we are at 8 cents. So people are just like, maybe I just buy some Maxi, with USDC. Okay, sorry for that. And that's the reason why it is up that much. And there are like two premiums where you can look at. It's the one premium where you just say, okay, how much hex do I need for one maxi, which is 1.85 right now. Or you look like in the Maximus smart contract, and then you look like, okay, treasury value compared uh, to hex, where you have not the 85%, where you are like
Yeah.
at 75%, 78%, something like that, because it already gained yeah, 2 months of
Yeah.
interest.
Well, that's a good point that you brought up about the liquidity. I would have never guessed, when Maxi before it came out, I would have never guessed that people would be rushing to buy into this, and that it would cause such a feedback loop, pushing the
Mhm.
price, pushing the premium up so high. I could see maybe 1.1, 1.85 surprises me, but not a bad thing. I think it's
Yeah,
good.
me too. I mean, I also haven't seen that. I mean, I was pretty speculative with my onboarding account, with the little account. So I went like all into Maxi, which was a really good play.
Yeah.
But in my private portfolio, I could have gotten more Maxi, or minted more Maxi. So, but
Yeah.
I'm fine with Maxi. I'm looking forward to the other stuff, but I just need to inform the people out there to be a little more conservative, because it's not a given that we also see like such high premiums on base, for example, and
Yeah.
I also would suggest don't rush into those things. So if they have like a 14-day of minting phase again, maybe you wait until day 12 and then you see how much base is in there already, how much Maxi did get exchanged for team.
Patrick, you mentioned it in the German stream. What are you looking for in the launch phase? How much would you like to see in this launch phase to be deployed from the Hexicans?
I mean, if I see base more than 100 million hex, like the exchanging hex to base more than 100 million before like 1 or 2 days before the timer is over, then we are golden. Then we are good. A lot of bigger pays better bonus and lots of people with interest. If I see like 10 million hex at 2 days before the timer goes off, then I don't know if it's really the best play, because hard to say if it then really goes up to an even higher premium than the stake itself is worth. And when it comes to team, I mean, I like my Maxi. I like them a lot actually, and I don't really want to exchange Maxi for team. And I'm 100% sure that after the minting phase, I can just go and buy team with USDC or buy them with Hex or buy them with ETH or buy them with Base even. Is if I have a liquidity pool, it doesn't matter like which coin I exchange to what other one.
All right, so we talked already about how Hex is the best staking coin in the world. It's even better than Bitcoin. It will bring us through the bear market. We already also discussed Hedron, Ecosa, Team, and Base now. And now what I saw like 30 minutes ago is another tweet. So let's bring up the screen share and then we will talk about this as well. Here we go. So hypothetically speaking, how do you all feel about staking and earning yield on your Pulse Doge coin? Patrick, what do you think? Like right now, Pulse Doge staking is not possible. Coffee, how excited are you about that?
Well, I mean, it's just like they're slapping staking on everything now. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it looks like.
Yeah, you know my thoughts on Dogecoin or Pulse Dogecoin. I don't really care about it, but hey, if it pumps, great. I don't think that's a bad thing if people make money on it. It was given out for free to Hex holders, and I sold most of mine already. So time will tell. That might be either the dumbest trade in my life or it just dumps and never gets back up. So I don't know. Pulse Dogecoin doesn't get me as excited as Team or Base or
You,
whatever.
you, you know that my Pulse Dogecoin position is like it's the only coin in my portfolio which holds or is up since the 20th of April.
Look, it's interesting. It's interesting, right? I can't be a hater, but
Yeah.
I sold about 90% of mine. I've got a tiny little bit of coins left, just in case it goes crazy someday.
Just in case it
But
moves.
yeah, I mean, staking will probably pump it temporarily. We'll see how long can they sustain the hype.
Patrick, where would such a staking come
I
from?
don't
Like,
know
would you have
if
an
it
idea?
really. No, Coffee. Do you really think like sustain the hype? Because in my point of view, there is no inflation. Everybody got like a little bit for free, but it's not like that they can produce buy pressure out of this little bit.
Yeah.
And watching this chart since yeah, the last 2 months basically.
Well,
Uh,
it comes down to the same thing that all coins come down to. It's just adoption and user experience and outreach. Right now, I see many more people doing outreach for Hex and Pulse Chain. Pulse Doge is kind of like, it's an afterthought, but it's not to say it won't pump. I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong and Pulse
there is
Doge to
only
the
like
moon.
one more thing I want to add here. Given that there are no buys but also no sells, so no activity in the coin itself. If you have the liquidity
Huh?
combined with Hex or later on with Pulse or Pulse X, it should also pump your price. Given that nobody is doing anything in Pulse Dogecoin itself. Of course, if like people are actively buying it, it even goes more percentage up than, for example, Pulse when it's paired with Pulse. And if people are selling it down for Pulse, of course, it goes down and Pulse goes up. But if nobody does anything, liquidity is packed in high appreciating assets, then it can also go with that. And there is no yield coming out, so in the form of more Pulse Doge coins. And in 1 month, the claiming phase is over, so it's just the people who have it. And if they say, okay, this price point is my price point, I want to sell. If price shoots up higher, they can only get back like with less coins, or they are out completely because they reach their price point and it's good for them.
Well,
So what we
let
just
me ask you a
saw,
question. Sorry.
yeah, go
What do
ahead.
you think? What do you think the staking rewards are going to be paid out in for Pulse Doge if they
That's
do
a
staking?
that's a good question, and I mean, I talked a little bit with Mars in the green room before you showed up, and I was first thinking it might come from the BA address, like their OA,
Yeah.
which is maybe not the best play to do. And he mentioned, no, I just think it will be another coin, like they do with every other things, like ICASA, new coin,
You're right.
Demon Base, new coin. So I think he's like pretty right on that, and it will just be a new coin.
This is exactly what the chat is asking as well. Hello Wealth is asking, isn't PLSD supposed to have fixed supply? How could it have staking reward? Yeah, well, a new coin would solve that problem, I guess. Where else could it come from? Well, PLSD is a meme coin, right? So could it hypothetically be, just it's my only speculation here, that there might not be any staking, it's just a tweet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be also the case. Yeah, it could
Yeah.
be also just a meme tweet
Yeah.
because everybody
Yeah.
is talking about or initiating staking to everything right now.
Well, I
All
mean,
right, guys.
Pulse Doge is up 20% today, so
I know.
maybe the tweet worked.
All eyes are
Yeah,
on Pulse Doge.
maybe. Yeah, it actually it could be correlated with the tweet. Yeah, I don't think so.
And Coffee, since you brought up the price here, Patrick, why don't we bring up the Hex price, the Pulse Doge price, the Maxi price, and all the prices? Let's talk about charts a little bit and see where the bottom is, and let's ask the chat as well what they think.
Yeah, okay. I mean, Hex is also up 10%, so let's start with Hex. I would say, right?
Let's go.
So you see already?
If we see the
Nice,
chart,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so if I measure like from the top down to the low a week ago, I see nearly 95%, like the same what Ethereum did in their first bear market after 2017. Coffee, what do you think? Was this the low?
It's not over yet, guys. It's not over
Easy
yet.
question, right? Easy question.
I think yeah, well, I talked about this on my last stream. I think we're due for a relief rally. I think there's political factors, there's macro factors, and we don't usually drop so hard for so long without a little bounce. So this is the bounce basically, and I think in middle of July when the Fed meets again, I think the Federal Reserve is going to raise interest rates, and I think that's going to kick off a new leg down. And hopefully we get a big capitulation wick, maybe down to 1 penny, maybe even a little lower. But I don't think we're going to stay there for long. I think we'll wick down, and then we'll just have some boring chopping action for many months until the macro economy kind of recovers.
I
Just
disagree,
my
and
opinion.
I give you the reason why I disagree. So
Please.
first of all, I disagree because we are like way down from the downwards channel. So there is lots of room for this retrace. and we are event driven. So given the hope that Pulse Chain comes out in the next 12 weeks, we will have an announcement of Richard, which should help the hex price, in my point of view. And my second reason why I think that this was the low is if I look at the general crypto market. So let's see where this whole thing started. And this whole thing started here on the 12th of June. And if I, so we see like on this candle here, starting candle was at 4 cents. So that's like 12th of June, starting price. We are at this price again, yeah, after this 11 days. If I now look up Bitcoin or Ethereum, it's like kind of the same movement. If I go here at the 12th of June, it started here at 28,000, and right now Bitcoin is still at 20,000. You know, that's like, what is that, 40% less than it was on the 12th of June. So what this tells me is that Hex was like moving in the same direction as Bitcoin and Ethereum, but now that kind of changed. And the third reason is liquidity. And if I look into Hex liquidity, first of all, I see that we have nearly 80% in the Hex USDC pair and only 11% in the Hex ETH pair. So the movements of ETH are way less affected. And here the bid ask spread. So I see like 66% of money on the side I want to have Hex, and only 1/3% of the money I want to sell Hex.
Wow. Yeah, this is cool. I actually didn't know Look into Hex had these charts. Are these new?
Slash liquidity, it's like awesome liquidity
Yeah,
set,
shout
and
out to
then you see it
Gerardo.
also here, like how it is at V2, how it is at V3. You see exactly
Wow.
like the total liquidity in these pairs. You see like how much hex are in the pairs, yeah, and then like how much USDC. So you see, for example, in the hex USDC pair, there is not even $5 million of value in hex terms, but there are nearly 10 million USDC.
Wow. Yeah. Well, shout out to Gerardo for making these updates, man. The Hex
Oh
community
yeah,
is always building. It's incredible. You know, we have
and
so much.
what I also like, so total liquidity is like barely 20 million, with like 10 million on the USDC side. And if I just say like now 10 million, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a buy input of 10 million, assuming no limit orders to sell and no other sells, would push the price back to 26 cents.
I love that. That's
and that's like just 10 million bucks. You know, it's not like
only
like
10
before.
million,
So just as a comparison, back in September at the all-time high, we had a total liquidity of about $50 million, and now it's like $20 million. So it's
and that's
also
on purpose too. That was deliberate, I think, because you don't want people that are shaken out. You don't want the paper hand plebs to get a better deal. If someone's going to get scared and shaken out, they deserve to get wrecked at a lower price.
CryptoCoffee, one question that I wanted to ask you, I think we talked about that in Green Room a little bit, and you discussed that in your stream yesterday. Why is the situation today different compared to the last bear market, for example, when it comes to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and now I guess we also talk about Hex as well?
Oh, yeah. The old this time it's different argument. Guys, yeah, this is a real, actual economic recession, I think. And we've never had to experience one of these before in the whole time that crypto's ever existed. So we've never seen what crypto does, you know, in a macro bearish environment. And we're lucky, but
I
it's
mean,
coming.
you know, the last 12 years, the Bitcoin community told us if that's the case, then Bitcoin will hold up because it's not like highly inflated as fiat currencies.
Nah, screw your uncorrelated asset narrative, guys. That's BS. As we're
I
seeing now.
agree to that. Yeah, it's just like what the Bitcoin community like did explain since 2010, actually. You know.
Yeah, once again, Bitcoiners are wrong about everything. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry if you're any Bitcoiners out there. But no, I mean, we're telling the truth. You know, it's correlated as fuck to everything. When COVID dipped, crypto was the first thing people want to sell. It's a speculative asset. I mean, all of these things are just speculative narratives that you're buying into.
Yeah, but you know, when COVID dipped, they were like afraid that the prices are affected by a lot. But what is the event of fiat currency failing? Where do you
Well,
run to? Do you run to a different fiat currency? Because where do they run now? The prices go down because people are going into the US dollar, right? That's why
yep.
stock prices go down. That's why prices go down. There you can argue they go like into stable coins, yeah, but still US dollar.
Mhm.
Uh, but given the events that fiat currency are collapsing, which I mean it's leading towards that.
Well, they've been
Uh,
collapsing for years. It's always a
yeah,
gradual
but
decline. They keep
that's why
printing more
they
money.
are spiking the rates right now, because they want to get rid of this high inflation. And if they would just keep printing, then this high inflation would get into hyperinflation, what we have seen in Germany, for example, after the First World War, and would completely fuck up economy and the monetary system. So I guess it's a good question to ask, like, if in this case, or if we are headed to that, where do the people really go? Because you cannot go in the fiat currency as people are doing it now, because they will have the hyperinflation. That's like going out of your asset into the Venezuelan bolivar.
Yeah, it's well, I think crypto really is a quiet revolution. So money does flow into cryptos, and each one of these bubbles, more and more people are onboarded. There's millions of MetaMask users today, and 2 years from now, it's going to look even different, even more different.
Mhm, mhm.
So it's like yeah, it's like winning the lottery in slow motion. It's like the greatest wealth transfer in human history, disguised as a Ponzi scheme on the internet.
Mhm.
RGS is saying, don't forget the bankers bought in on BTC on the way. So I don't know if this is sarcastically
They
because they did. El Salvador is buying Bitcoin, governments are buying Bitcoin, but I always want to put it into perspective. And like 1 or 2 months ago, when I saw the tweet of somebody that El Salvador bought so much Bitcoin, I just looked at our God whale and how much hex he was holding, and it was like multiple times more than El Salvador even bought in Bitcoin is our God whale has staked for 15 years. So I think I do not know if the banks buying Bitcoin or government being in Bitcoin really makes the difference here. What do you guys think?
I think it just means that there's no more opportunity left with Bitcoin for financial freedom. The biggest players are already involved, and they want to get their piece of the pie, and they've already secured it. A lot of the banks own a large portion of Bitcoin, and that's why they started saying nice things about it. They're only going to say good things about it if they feel like they can control it to a degree, or if they own some of it. And so they've already controlled pretty much all of the fiat on ramps and off ramps into Bitcoin. They already control large stacks of Bitcoin. I'm talking about like nations and large corporations, institutions. So it's over. It's not a retail friendly game anymore. Hex is where it's at. I mean, you can still, like Patrick showed earlier, you can still pump Hex to 26 cents with only $10 million. It's great.
And the Hex community, I think we will get to this $10 million. Like, I think it doesn't matter too much of bear market or bull market because the Hex community is onboarding constantly. Like, even in the bear market now, we are out there telling people about it. And I think we're seeing it in the Staker app feed really well. We have a lot of days, we have more buyers than sellers, right? Of course, the sellers are selling more coins right now because it's the bear market. But if we keep that onboarding going, I think Hex will not go down as much as all the other coins in the bear market. Will probably recover quicker and just the right thing to hold.
I think
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
right. I mean, the community is onboarding more and more every day, and that's one of the greatest things to see. I mean, that's such a beautiful thing. Number of daily active stakers, which is, in my opinion, that's the real Hexicans, right? That's increasing during a bear market. You guys, I can't even imagine during a bull market how good are we going to look? We're almost at 100,000 stakers. So that's incredible to me.
All right. So, Patrick, we have looked into Hex price chart yet. Are there other price charts that are interesting? Maybe Maxi, maybe Hedron,
Yeah, I mean
or
this
PLSD?
this one would be nice to share it because it shares like return of investments from launch. Like there you can see the Bitcoin line go up there. You know, here to yep, the double top of Bitcoin is here, and Ethereum, the green line, Hex, the pink line, and then I mean Ethereum reached their 10,000 X mark here in the end of 17, and then also like went down 95%. So you could also argue that Hex is just doing the same stuff as Ethereum did, but only a little faster than Ethereum did it, because Hex made the 95% drop faster than Ethereum, and it made the 10,000x top also faster than Ethereum.
Yeah, I agree with
Patrick,
that.
Patrick, can you take away all the other lines but Ethereum and Hex, and then I think it comes out really well, the point that you wanted to make.
I don't know if I can.
Yeah, I think you
I
just
thought
click
you
on
can.
Oh,
the
yeah.
names or something like this.
Yeah, it just takes a little while until it.
Well, like Coffee said, look into Hex, an awesome site, and Gerardo is constantly working on that. What Gerardo is also doing is a front end. Look into Hex front end for staking Hex, and I just saw he's also made his own site where he finds all his project on one place. So I think this is pretty good. Check out Gerardo for sure. So here you see it, the Hex line, the Hex price following Ethereum, even outperforming Ethereum, going down just like Ethereum. But as it looks to me, maybe when the price goes up again, we will be higher again than Ethereum in those 2 years.
Yeah,
At least that's how it looks like to me.
We're ahead of schedule. I think that and Hex topped before Bitcoin in this cycle as well. And so from a timing perspective, it's almost like Hex is leading the market. You know, it's the trendsetter.
It is a trendsetter since ever. Like when Hex came out, it was a trendsetter of being the better store of value. Then a couple of weeks later, we had the most liquidity on Uniswap. We made Uniswap popular, right? So Hex has been a trendsetter for a long time. Did it really, really often. And now I think the next trendsetter, what Richard Hart is doing, going from proof of work to proof of stake, this will change the whole game, I think.
Yeah, but let's stay in this speculation a little bit. What is your take on post-chain launch, Coffee?
Oh God, I at this point, I don't even want to think about it. But I'm hoping before the end of the year, and I'm really hoping before September would be nice. So before PulseCon.
That's my current hope as well.
Yeah, I'll say end of July, just for you know, I don't know, just to give you guys some hopium, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like our current hopium is as well like between July and the end of August, like before PulseCon. Let's see if we get there. Let's see if we get there.
Well, I have the feeling it could come out any day. Like it could come out in the next couple of weeks. It could come out in the next couple of months. We do not know. It could come out even 2023, right? We don't know. And sometimes I have the problem that I think about Pulse and Pulse X so little that I sometimes even forget that I sacrificed, and then we have those coins coming out. So this is the situation. The Hex price is really low right now. And like Patrick said before, eventually Pulse Chain and Pulse X will come out. We will have announcement of Richard Hart. And what do cryptocurrencies do? Coming to announcements, they always pump. So the question would be, I think we discussed it with Patrick in the past as well. When we have the announcement of Richard Hart, CryptoCoffee, what do you think? Can we surpass the all-time high, or how high will we go before the fork?
Probably not all-time highs, bro. But
I would say the same. I didn't say that actually.
what is the there's some support and resistance ranges around 17 cents and then 23 cents, I believe. That would be nice.
And there is also like the bearish trend line, you know, the downwards trend.
Yeah.
So, Barrett, since we're talking about the price, let's bring up the chart, because I also want to get into the Maxi chart and PSD chart, and maybe even show the Hedron chart as well. But let's discuss first the thing that you wanted to say about HEX here.
Yeah, well, I
So
think you already drew the ranges for us. Those two
Yeah.
green ranges in between 17 and 22. I would love to see that.
Yeah, that would be also like a breakout of this down channel, so I can definitely see that. As of right now, if we say, okay, we start end of July, beginning of August, I would see like a retest of 10 cents, or maybe here up to 13, 14 cents. But as of right now, I don't see the breaking point of the downtrend. I actually see that after Pulse Chain is launched.
Fair enough. We're gonna get a little pump though. I mean, Alan's right.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
the
like now
announcement.
from 4 cent up there is like a 3x pump possibility right there. So
Yeah, that'd be great. But that's also exit liquidity for some people, right? So
Well, that
yeah, I
would be
mean,
great if
it's
they
hard
exit before the
it's hard
fork,
to
right?
judge, I mean, maybe
yeah,
the local top before the fork, yes, might be, but who gets like the local top before the fork? And if you sell before the fork, in order to get your same bag back after the fork, the price needs to drop at least 50%. From
Yeah.
the point where you sold. So let's say you say, okay, I assume that it goes to 10 cents before the fork. Then you say, okay, 10 cents might be the local high. You sell it off, and then it goes even to the range, like to 17 cents. So first of all, you have the fear, like not being on board with those 70% more. And then, if you sold at 10 cents, it needs to go down lower than 5 cents in order that you can make a profit out of that. And, if we shoot to the line up there, I don't see it going so much down after the fork. And yeah, I mean, now we can start speculating in will we reach parity between the blockchains, or what we think about that.
Well, I want to
guess
hear
that's
your thoughts about that. What do you think EHEX? One, do you think EHEX is going to dump? And two, how quickly, or if at all, do you think we're going to get to parity?
I'm pretty sure that Hex will dump directly after the fork. I think we will see kind of the same chart picture as after the big payday, where the lowest Hex price was 20-30 minutes after the event. That's why I don't say to people, if they want to get into Pulse or Pulse X, I don't recommend them go with the Hex route, for example, because I think that the best time to buy Pulse and Pulse X might be in the minutes directly after the fork. But usually, exactly at this time, Hex has the most selling pressure, because at this time everybody doubled the coins. Yeah, and going forward, if we see this dump, it's easier to reach parity at the lower hex price. That's a given. So the lower the hex price, the easier it is to reach parity, because you just can go with a little liquidity pool on the ETH chain, with a bunch of liquidity on the Pulse chain, with a big EHEX hex pair on the Pulse chain, and then you can just arbitrage it out of the ETH chain, and the rest is on the Pulse chain. So yes, after a couple of months after the fork, I see a high possibility of parity. Only like if a lot of people in the community start selling off Hex on the Ethereum chain after the fork, then it might not be the case. But if we just have the usual dumpers, then I think we can see a parity after a few months.
Yeah.
So, CryptoCoffee, let me ask you this.
Let him respond first to that, and then give him the next question, please.
Well, no, I mean, I'm mostly agreeing with you, but yeah, I think what's going to end up happening for EHEX is it's going to be only the strongest hands. It's only the most diamond hand players, because everybody else will have been shaken out, and everyone's going to go do all their trading and their short-term speculation over on Pulse Chain and PHEX instead.
So, CryptoCoffee,
Yeah,
let me
but
ask you this.
how do you get to this point, because like lots of people have their hex staking ladder, so they will get hex automatically on the East chain, in the future.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Yeah, because you said like no, it's like only the most diamond-handed whales will stay on the East chain. That's what I understood.
Yeah. That's what I think. I mean, new demand for EHEX is not going to be as easy as new demand for PHEX, but because of the liquidity bonding, I think the prices can go up and down together. And so
Yeah,
I see
I
a
agree with
lot
that
of people.
because it's not like that we need to find new buy pressure for EHEX. It's just like that we need to find the buy pressure for hex on the Pulse chain, and
they go up together.
And they can go up together, and especially like if there is maybe not a 80% USDC pool. Maybe we see on the Pulse chain the 80% Pulse USDC pool, but then we see also like a huge Pulse hex pool or Pulse X hex pool.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have discussed in the community fairly big that maybe the staking reward on the Ethereum contract side of Hex could be a little bit higher than on the Pulse chain, right? And this would then be an incentive for big whales on the Ethereum side to hold their Hex there. But CryptoCoffee, I want to ask you this question. You see, Hex Lion and I with Kryptosparbuch, we are going out there trying to onboard people. You are onboarding in masses with your videos. And where do you onboard your people into? Is it Hex on the Ethereum side, or will it be Hex on the Pulse chain side?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It's going to depend how easy it is for the user experience for people to, because if you have to explain, MetaMask and Coinbase, and then now bridging, and then Pulse chain, and then you switch your networks over here, it's a lot for somebody new to understand. Now, people can understand it, right? But I really want to see fiat on-ramps directly to Pulse chain. And then I'll be onboarding. Yeah. Because then I'll be onboarding directly to Pulse chain,
Yeah.
Other than that, though, just that one extra step of the bridge process is going to make it difficult and add a point of friction.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But from the beginning, we were always saying, well, we will onboard the people into Pulse chain, at least on the million Pulse tour. That's exactly what we want to do, right? In the future, you're definitely right. It introduces 1 point of more friction to bridge everything over. I do not know if this is going to be too much of a friction. I think it's going to be really easy to do, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's our job, right? We have to explain it to people. And
yeah, I mean, technically it's easy to do. Or I did that with Polygon already in the past before I found out that there are admin keys.
Yeah.
So the technical point is it's not hard to do, but as you say, it's like another layer of complexity.
Yeah.
What you need to teach somebody who is new, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'll be doing tutorials, and you guys will be holding people's hands in real life, and it's great. And,
you also have like a Hex course, right?
Yeah,
like
hexpassiveincome.com. Link in the description below. No, yeah, the V2 will be out soon of the course, but I need to update everything because Pulse chain is going to just change so much.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your coin, since we are talking about your course, since we're talking about hexpassiveincome.com. When did you make that course, and what can the people learn there?
Yeah, I don't have a coin yet, guys, but I have a course. So that
when CryptoCoffee coin.
Yeah, somebody asked me that on stream yesterday, and I was like, I'll let you know. But no, I think I started the course March last year, and it's just an onboarding tool, right? So it's a small fee. I think it's $200 today, and it's the price you pay for years worth of knowledge in cryptocurrency. So this course is going to take you from zero to hero. It's designed for no coiners, and I designed it for no coiners because I figured out of the whole world population, there's way more no coiners than people that actually understand crypto. So you might as well target that market because it's literally everybody. Mm-hmm. And and this for people that maybe have never heard of crypto or only heard of Bitcoin. And we go through, the mindset that it takes to succeed. We go through security modules, how to be safe, how to not get scammed, how to not lose all your money. All this stuff is worth a lot more than $200, right? And so if you're willing to invest $200 in yourself and in your own education, you can complete the whole course in a weekend if you just focus. I think it's 8 or 10 hours of content. But if you pay attention and you follow all the instructions, everything exactly like I say, I'll walk through, you know, how to buy Hex, how to sell Hex, staking ladders, the whole staking ladder strategy, and the intricacies of T-shares and all that stuff. This is they're all pre-recorded videos, so I don't have to, you know, be on the phone with you every day. You can just go rewatch the videos, right? So I find it's a more effective way, more like a one-to-many communication instead of a live consulting course, because that would just take up so much of my time. And I think there's a more efficient way to onboard, you know, tons of people. So I'm trying to make it easy, but you know, you should be willing to invest a little bit of money into yourself, into your own knowledge, because literally I've lost so much money in crypto. I've lost so much money, and I wish I could have told me 7 years ago. I wish I could have just handed that person this course.
But not in this cycle, right? It was already in the past, or in this cycle as well. Did you be part? Have you been part of Terra and and Celsius?
No, I'm doing a lot better now, guys. But you know, I feel bad because it reminds me, it gives me PTSD from you know, 2018. I invested in every shitcoin under the sun, just anything that had a white paper, because I felt smart because I knew how to read the white paper, and nobody ever delivered anything. It was all vaporware. So this time around, at least we have functional, working Ponzi schemes. So it's better now.
So maybe now I have to explain why CryptoCoffee just said that. Hex is not a Ponzi scheme, right? Hex does not pay out new people from old people from the new ones. Everything is a Ponzi, basically. CryptoCoffee just argued Bitcoin is a Ponzi, stock market is a Ponzi, and you want to be in the Ponzi that loses the least, basically. That's what I got out of that, right?
Well, you know, it depends how you define it. And then if people are going to define Ponzi schemes so loosely, then, oh, you know, it requires more people to get in for the price to go up. It's like, no shit, of course. Like, that's how everything works, you know. But like you just said the real definition of Ponzi scheme.
Not even that is true. You know, I have a counter to that as well. But what if existing people are just buying up more? And I mean, look at wallets, you know, look at the wallets who bought up between 3 and 4%. It was barely new wallets. It was mostly guys who already are Hexicans, you know, with their limit orders, with their one-sided liquidity positions, with their market buys, whatever. So, and I mean, I have personally calls with Hexicans, you know, and then from time to time, this guy tells me like, yeah, I bought 3 cents. This guy tells me, 3.5. I was like a little late.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's a lot of the same people for sure, but it's all about
just
getting
like
new
we
people.
were the first time it spiked down. We were like on Cabanas on the happy hour show, and I mean Motley was there, Big K was there, Cabana himself, and some other people. Steph was also on the stream, and everybody said, like, yeah, my limit orders got filled. My limit orders got filled.
Limit order flexing. Yeah,
limit order flexing, exactly. So that's why that's my counter argument to that. It's not like that we really need more new people in the long run. Yeah, maybe, but it's also like if we look at ownership, it's just like, okay, still the most volume comes from existing people because they already made those mad gains, so they have like bigger volume. Than a new.
Well, here's the thing: we need more money to come in, and it's more likely to come in from new people. I mean, you could have the same people just keep working and keep putting your paychecks into Hex, but you know, then it's not fun. Then you're just winning with the same people over and over. Like let's all win with, you know, a bigger group.
It's just like it's a counter argument for the Ponzi argument, you know, that it needs to have new people.
Well, yeah, a real legitimate Ponzi scheme does require new people. I mean,
that's true. Yeah,
Hex is obviously not really a Ponzi scheme. I mean, it's just a word that's thrown around so much in crypto that I think it loses its real meaning sometimes. But yeah, Ponzi scheme. I mean, A-Bit just said it. It's a game of musical chairs, basically. So the old investors are paid out using money directly that comes from the new investors. And then when you can't find any new people to get money, it collapses. But they usually promise returns. That's another key point of a Ponzi scheme. A Ponzi scheme promises returns that it can't meet, that's unsustainable. In Hex, it's only the smart contract promising you returns. It's literally just math.
And it's just like more HEX, and even in 30 years, the smart contract of HEX will be able to pay each and every of its user.
I just posted a link into the chat, hexcrypto.nl. I think it's from somebody from the Netherlands who wrote that. Anyways, it discusses what is a Ponzi and why HEX is no Ponzi. You guys, everybody should copy paste that. And whenever somebody is saying HEX is a Ponzi, just drop that link and educate the people. I think it's written really, really well.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, so
Coffee,
go ahead,
do
Patrick.
you have maybe any questions to us?
What coins are you most excited for on Pulse Chain, other than HEX?
Well, for me, this is Pulse. For me, this is Pulse X for sure.
Pulse.
Other than RH coin.
Other than the Richard Hart, yeah. Sorry.
Then I would say Maxi, because I'm really I'm looking forward to find out like what this copy does, or like this original coin does, because we see it already that on the East chain barely Maxi holders are like selling anything. So why should they sell after the fork? And most of them are educated enough that they know, okay, it goes like 1-to-1 with the hex pair, and maybe just close your eyes for 2 months or something like that around the fork. And I mean, most Maxi people are already sacrifices, so I don't see a large percentage of this holder base to want to get into Pulse or Pulse X, like that they would sell off their copy in order for Pulse or for Pulse X. So I'm pretty positive when it comes to Maxi, for example, and I think that they will trade at a premium on both chains, definitely, and maybe. I mean, reach parity before HEX, it's not possible because their liquidity is 1-to-1 correlated. But let's see what the Maxi community decides to do on Pulse chain. Because first of all, we only have version 2 of liquidity providing, so without a range. And next point is, do you really only want to have the HEX Maxi pool, or do you also want to have the Pulse Maxi pool, the Pulse X Maxi pool, in order to?
It gets complicated.
Yeah, and it makes sense in my point of view. So I am personally thinking about, I could use some of my Maxi together with some of my Pulse. I could use some of my Maxi together with Pulse X. Both of those coins have a 10,000x return possibility in the next 2 to 3 years. So, and as I like my Maxi, I also like my Pulse, I also like my Pulse X. I like to get fees, and I wouldn't mind to have an impermanent loss in those pairs.
Because you just hold on until they do the next 10,000x, right? This is the idea behind that.
Yeah, I mean, even if you end up like, let's say, with way more Maxi after like 2 years, because HEX only did 100x and Pulse and Pulse X did a 10,000x, then it's like the square root of 100. I don't know what it is. What you have as an impermanent loss, and yes, then but you have a lot of Maxi then, and yes, you slowly lost like a little of your Pulse and Pulse X, and I mean, I'm not like the biggest Maxi holder, so it's not that I have the huge amount there, so it will only be like a little from my total Pulse bag, a little from my total PLS bag, PLSX bag. So why not? So.
I'm also really excited about Maxi when it comes to Pulse chain, right? But it's less about the coin, it's more about the community. I want to see how the community is evolving in the next couple of months, right? With Team and Base coming out. And we already see how strong the Maxi community is. I think the best you see that on the price, like Coffee said, an 85% premium on HEX. It's even a little bit ridiculous, right? But I heard the Maxi community talking about trying to vote for having the incentive token for a Maxi PLS pair, for example. I think this would be really, really amazing. I would love to see that. And then, of course, Pulse storage is something that I'm really excited as well. the first meme coin that is rare, and I think everybody will love that.
He is a meme creator, you know. It's like David as
Exactly.
the main Hex meme creator is, of course,
Yeah.
bullish when it comes to meme coins, especially if they have like a non-inflated in supply, you know, if they're scarce.
No. Especially if I have multiple accounts in HEX Staked and I can claim with many accounts and get free money. That's why I'm bullish on PLSD.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Because you made a lot of claims, or what do you mean?
Yeah, I have a lot of addresses for me, for my parents, for my brother, and so on, and that
Oh my
granted me a
God,
lot of free claims.
I forgot to. Thank you for reminding me. I need to go and claim
Coffee just
my whole
found out
family's.
that there are like a couple of thousand Pulse Dogecoins
Hell yeah, that's great.
unclaimed.
Yeah.
So I guess that
Tomorrow-
you did not sell 90% of your position then. You will get some back now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
are you guys consider those coins like yours? Because I also have like my family wallet, but I only like claimed for them, and they are like in those
Yeah.
addresses, you know.
That's the service
it's-
fee that you're charging. That's you take
Yeah,
that. for
I
yourself.
was thinking about that, but then I said like, nah, they should have that, you know.
That's
No,
nice of you, but-
that's the money for me to play with. What I want to do really quick, just to make it a little bit easier for CryptoCoffee here to check what wallets really are claimable and not, is to go to Günther's site, because he made an Excel spreadsheet where you can see if you are able to claim or not. But right now I do not find it, unfortunately, though.
Yeah, otherwise you just like connect the address with pulsedoge.com, and then the application tells you.
Yeah, that's probably the best, since I do not find it right now. Okay, guys, I think we are pretty much at the end of our stream. I do not see any questions from the chat anymore. CryptoCoffee already asked us a question. So, CryptoCoffee, thank you so much for being here. We had a lot of fun. Patrick, any last words from your side?
No, so also thank you for coming again to our show. I always like to discuss things with you because you're well into the space. You're really knowledgeable when it comes to cryptocurrency. Already had like those personal ups and downs in your personal portfolio. I had the same thing. I mean, I guess not so extreme as you had, but yeah, it was also extreme, you know, so like
Are you saying
minus
I'm more of a degenerate?
90% and more is like always extreme. And then I'm looking forward to see you again. So hopefully in September, 5th of September at our golf tournament, and then onwards on the PulseCon.
I'll definitely see you at PulseCon. Hey, do you have a schedule for the Million Pulse tour? Or is that
not yet, because the schedule is to be announced, because the first thing we need to know is when is PulseChain coming out. And the thing is, the longer it takes, the more we are thinking about moving the tour already like into the next year, because then we don't have the problem of being in the northern states in the winter months. We already have like a more settled chain. We might see already like a good working fiat on and off ramp. So I guess we will have some announcement in regards to that pretty soon. But just to give you a little announcement up front, it might be that there will some Hex dedicated events in this year, and OG meetup for the Hex birthday party in the beginning of December, and that the Million Pulse tour starts next year. That we start like after the winter months. For example, Hex 19 already offered us some help for the California event and so on. And then with California, we already moved it like to the end of our tour schedule. And if we start next year, that would be the beginning again. And then another event which will be definitely cool next year will be in April. I guess it's end of April. It's the Hex Cruise. So what we did is there is a cruise ship, Miami, Bahamas, and back, 4 days, and there is still like plenty of space on this cruise ship. We didn't need to buy up like a huge contingent, because if lots of Hexicans are coming and we sell out like half of the boat, it's nice. If not too much Hexicans are coming and we only sell up like a few % of the boat, then we have like a lot of people who we can onboard on the boat, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so everything, all the details are at ksb.tv, and looking forward to all of that. And yeah, as I said, the more I think about it, it might make more sense to go with Hex events this year and with the tour next year. What do you
Patrick, last
think?
questions from the chat here. Is it possible to claim your PLSD from the Staker app?
Yes, that is possible. And if you go in the Pulse Telegram chat and then you write like !Gnosis or !Staker app, you will find a link to a video where I guess it's David Feeder explaining like how to do claims with your smart safe. But
It is
doing that,
possible.
I would suggest you have a hardware wallet. So I won't do that with a plain MetaMask where I put my key online in this MetaMask. I would only do that with a hardware wallet.
Thanks for that. Somebody was asking, and now we have the answer. Well, CryptoCoffee, thank you so much for being here. I want to give you the last words. And where can people find you? Just please chill all your stuff.
And beforehand, what do you think about like starting point of the million pulls? Do you think it makes a lot of sense? Like wait a little bit more, or?
Yes, I agree. Hex this year, Pulse next year. And yeah, guys, come back to Chicago anytime. Obviously, looking forward to seeing you guys at PulseCon and in real life. You know, meetups, cruise ships, whatever. Go to YouTube, CryptoCoffee, YouTube. You guys probably already know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't got much else. Smash the likes, smash the subscribe.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot. And you know what we didn't do like last time in Vegas? I'm pretty sure we won't find time this time as well, but just to mention it, we need to play a round of darts, right?
Yes, we do. Yes.
So maybe we find time this time in Vegas when we meet each other. So thanks again for coming onto the show again. It was a pleasure talking to you. It's like I hope everybody in the audience also got a good chunk of education out of that and like new ideas for their portfolio and how to maneuver in the bear market. And yeah, David, what do you say?
I say thanks, Patrick. Thanks, CryptoCoffee. Thanks to everybody in the chat. It was like 100 people at one point. I love the numbers going up like this for our subscribers and for our viewers. So thank you so much. We will see us next week again with German and English content about Hex. See you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.